hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them when you walk. I want you to do like this with them. Boom, 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 boom. Just keep boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
You know, we got in the ring. He was so locked in. I was so locked in. Like, there was nothing really to say. We both locked in and we both focused on the task at hand. But man, it was dope. It was dope. You know, it was a dream come true.
Crawford's gonna destroy Canelo. Yes, you heard that right. Those were the very first words out of Mike Tyson's mouth after training with Bud. And here's the wild part. This wasn't just Tyson talking from the couch. Iron Mike actually trained with Bud, moved around with him, saw the skills up close. Tyson broke it down his way. Sure, Canelo hits like a truck, but in his words, trucks are powerful, they ain't fast.
Crawford moving up in weight, wanting to go up 3 divisions to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. What do you make of that? Is that a good idea?
Hey, listen, to him, it is. So what do anybody care about what I say? It's only about what he think and feel. He's the king. Just know, I'm the biggest fan Terence had. But you know, listen, if he goes in the middle of Siberia, no one knows who he is. Let him do that.
Mike reminded everyone that back in his prime, he was the fastest heavyweight alive. And what he sees in Bud is the same thing. Explosive speed with a killer's edge. But it ain't just speed. Tyson said Crawford's got the brain of a taskmaster, dissecting opponents like puzzles, setting traps they can't escape. So while Canelo's loading up heavy artillery, Bud's already 2 moves ahead, outsmarting him at every turn.
My best, I don't care how great the teacher, I had a masterful teacher, but if you want to be the best, you watch the best. You look at the best. You know, you watch them and you have their lifestyle. Don't be like this, have their lifestyle. And that's what it's all about. Have the lifestyle of the greatest.
And honestly, I gotta tell you, hearing Tyson say that makes you stop and think, because we've all seen what Canelo does when he's in beast mode. The man's a tank, and if he touches you clean, you feel it. But here's the thing, boxing ain't just about power, it's about timing, rhythm, and outsmarting the other guy. And when I look at Bud, I see a fighter who can do it all. Switch stances, read you like a book, and break you down piece by piece.
Well, listen, I called Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. I wasn't able to get those mega fights, you know, so this is my mega fight, this is my moment, and that's the reason why I want to fight an all-time great like Canelo.
We can't ignore the size difference. And you know Canelo's gonna come in heavy, maybe 185, 190 on fight night. But if Crawford keeps that speed and stays sharp, we might be watching history. I mean, you, me, all of us. We could be witnessing one of those nights where the smaller man rewrites the script and shocks the world. And just when you thought Iron Mike calling Bud the taskmaster with hands was crazy enough, here comes Stephen A. Smith jumping in the ring with his mouthpiece, and bro, he didn't even pause.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fighter in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
Man was like, Crawford, I'm not hesitating. Like, bruh, he picked Bud quicker than I pick extra fries at McDonald's. And yo, Stephen A. calling Canelo's neck as wide as Broadway? I spit out my drink, because he's right. Canelo's built like a red brick wall, but sometimes it feels like every punch gotta be a haymaker, and we know that don't fly against Bud.
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, Stephen A. was preaching when he said if Bud tries to stand and trade, it's trouble. That's like bringing Uno cards to a poker game. It just ain't smart. But the way he doubled down, saying Bud's speed, switch hitting, and IQ gonna outpoint Canelo, Rue, I felt that. You, me, we all gotta admit it. Hearing Stephen A. say Crawford will beat Canelo with zero hesitation, that's the kind of confidence that makes you want to grab popcorn, cancel plans, and watch history.
Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster.
So Stephen A came in hot, yelling, "Crawford, I'm not hesitating." And now we got Shawn Porter sliding in with the real receipts. See, it's one thing for us to argue in the barbershop, but Porter, he pulled up to Bud's gym, front row, VIP access to them sparring rounds. And yo, the way he said, "I liked everything I saw," that's not casual talk. That's a former champ basically giving Crawford the Yelp 5-star review before he even fights Canelo. And I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Canelo's a tank, granite chin, power like a wrecking ball.
Big guys, yeah, big guys. Guys that were, right around the 6 foot mark. Guys that were right around that 200-pound mark. Nothing new for Terence Crawford.
But when Porter's telling us Bud's out here sparring big dudes, 200 pounds plus and still looking sharp, that hits different. Let's keep it real. You, me, we've all seen Crawford cook smaller guys, but now we know he's been stress testing his game against heavy hitters in camp. That ain't a diet fight, that's heavyweight seasoning. And the way Porter broke it down, it almost feels like Bud's not just training for Canelo, he's training to break boxing math itself. Because if he brings that same speed, IQ and calmness against Canelo's truck power, whew, somebody's walking out shocked, and it ain't just the fans.
His family, friends, the whole team. Everybody's staying in the same house, eating the same food. He's comfortable. But for someone who's been uncomfortable for a long time, he knows how to balance it, you know what I mean? And so I like everything that I saw from Crawford's camp.
Alright, check this. We just had Shawn Porter talking about how Bud's looking sharp sparring big boys, and now Plemons jumps in flipping the whole convo from punches to business. And honestly, he ain't lying. Because you, me, we can argue chins, speed and power all day, but let's be real. This fight ain't just about who wins, it's about who carries boxing into the next era. Netflix deal, Ring magazine, all that. This fight is basically boxing's audition to sit back at the cool kids lunch table with the NFL and the NBA. And yo, I'm here for it.
There's just something about this one that makes it special. I don't know if it's the stakes on the line for Bud Crawford moving all the way up. I don't know if it's Canelo having this rejuvenation and this refocused mindset and attitude toward this fight to once again, even though he doesn't really need to prove that he's one of the greatest ever, once again taking that challenge to do it.
And Wade's angle really hits. He's telling us straight up that this fight is bigger than just Bud versus Canelo. It's about whether boxing can finally get its act together and feel like a main event sport again. We all complain that boxing only shows up once every few months with a big fight, right? Well, Wade's saying this could be the reset button. If this one lands, boxing's stock shoots up. If it doesn't, people will clown the sport harder than a bad Netflix reboot. Either way, Wade put it on point. This is legacy for the fighters, but survival mode for boxing itself.
This one just is so important, I think, on a massive scale for what boxing's new era is going to be and stepping into a new plane and becoming, a sport that is refocused, especially here in America, as one of the big sports that we want to watch.
Alright, so Wade had us looking at this fight like it's $1 billion chess move for boxing's future. But then Coach Anthony slides in and reminds us, yo, strip away the Netflix deals, strip away the hype. At the end of the day, somebody's still got to eat punches in that ring. And the way Coach laid it out, man, he's basically warning Canelo like, don't sleep, Bud is a straight up threat. And I feel that because if you and I are keeping it real, Crawford ain't pulling up just to be a sparring partner in history, he's coming to flip the whole script. And Coach Anthony's breakdown is savage but true. Canelo might be built like a brick wall, but walls can still get tagged with graffiti, and Bud's the type of dude to spray paint his initials on it mid-fight. We can't act like size alone wins fights. We've all seen smaller dogs bite the brakes off bigger ones.
So, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to that. Canelo's also lost before. He knows how to lose. Okay, Crawford doesn't know how to lose, okay?
That's why I'm telling you, we gotta respect this as a 50-50ths, because Bud's determination is scarier than any bench press number Canelo's putting up. And if you ask me, Coach Anthony just confirmed what a lot of us feel deep down. This fight ain't about who's bigger, it's about who's smarter when the fire's on. All right, fam. We just cooked through Tyson calling Bud the taskmaster, Stephen A yelling, "Crawford, no hesitation." Porter giving the 5-star gym review, Wade talking boxing's future, and Coach Anthony warning Canelo not to get too comfy. At the end of the day, you, me, we all know this fight ain't just about punches, it's about brains, pride, legacy, and the whole sport's reputation on the line. But now, I want to hear from y'all. Who you riding with? Team Canelo, the granite chin tank, or Team Bud, the chess-playing assassin? Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Let's chop it up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.